All right, brothers and sisters and lovers and haters alike, may this video bless you, even though you're about to listen to a bunch of American pastors' lies on their little Trinity TV.
The God who anoints God. The Lord say to my Lord. How do we have this Trinitarian reality and oneness? How does God forsake God? How do we explain humanity joined with divinity? And then that which is divinity forsaking that which is the God-man? I don't know. But I can tell you your salvation rests on that reality.
And that led me to think, okay, what does the Trinity have to do with our salvation? What does the Trinity have to do with who we are and our reality? It has to have some bearing on our reality and who we are.
If you deny the Trinity, you deny your own salvation.
The Trinity engaged in this wondrous reality of salvation. John 1:1, he was God. Listen, any identification of Jesus by anyone, anytime, that makes him less than God is blasphemy. It is blasphemy.
These are American pastors lying through their teeth, and one day they shall be judged for the false things that they teach unless they repent. So I want to show you something really interesting. Here we have in Matthew 16 an interesting conversation between Jesus and his disciples. So when Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" So Jesus calls himself the Son of Man, which means a son of a man, referring to David and Mary and the lineage of the bloodline that he came from. So they said, "Some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." And he said to them, that's Jesus, he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" He's making it personal. And Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Christ." So that means anointed. You are the anointed one. You are the Messiah. You are the Mashiach, the Son of the living God. Not the living God, but the Son of the living God, the anointed one. And Jesus answered and said to them, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven." So Jesus says that his Father who's in heaven revealed to Simon, son of Jonah, that he's blessed for saying that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. He doesn't say that it's blasphemy, that he didn't say, "Oh, well, you are God, Jesus. You are the creator and the second person of the Trinity." That's not what's being said here. And it's ridiculous to claim that and to put fear into people. You're walking a line, American pastors. And Jesus goes on to say, "And also I say to you that you are Peter, and that on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Now there's another probable parallel to the story in Luke chapter 9, and I'm just going to go through it real quick because there's a verse in here that I find really interesting. And also a context that we ought to be focusing on rather than this nonsense about how if you don't believe the Trinity, you're going straight to the everlasting fire to be tortured forever, because it's a lie. So Luke 9:18. "And it happened, as he was alone praying," that's Jesus, "that his disciples joined him. And he," that's Jesus, "asked them, saying, 'Who do the crowds say that I am?' And so they answered and said, 'John the Baptist, but some say Elijah, and others say that one of the old prophets has risen again. And he said to them, again, making it personal, "But who do you say that I am?" And Peter answered and said, "The Christ of God." That would be the anointed one of God. And he strictly warned them and commanded them to tell this to no one. That's Jesus. He warned them, saying, "The Son of Man shall suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised the third day." Know this, that Jesus is still being rejected by the church elders for who he truly is. And then Jesus says something very interesting about life and salvation. Then he said to them all, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me." So, see, Jesus has ideas about what it is to be his disciple. "For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and is himself destroyed or lost?" And then a really interesting closing verse for you, brothers and sisters. "For whoever is ashamed of me and my words, of him the Son of Man will be ashamed when he comes in his own glory and his Father's, and of the holy angels." So I just have a question for the American Trinitarian pastors. How come when you're quoting verses about your so-called Trinity that people need to believe in order to be saved, how come you leave this one out? Because I see 3 here. The Son of Man says he will come in his own glory, and he will come in his Father's, and of the holy angels. So, are the holy angels also part of the Godhead? Come on. Now look, I get it. I understand. You love your pastor, and you like to get together with him and sing Kumbaya and gather together in unity, but you're doing it over false doctrine. So you could check out if you want and ignore me and yell at me or call me names or whatever, or you could go to my website and look at yourpastorlies.com and see all of the lies your pastor is telling you, and then seek God to deliver you from deception.